Behind me here lies the mouth of the Sin and Flesh Brook, a small stream that starts just a couple miles north of here up in Tiverton, Rhode Island, flows down through some woodland and empties out here into the Narragansett Bay and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the first question you probably have about this brook is, where did that dark name come from? Sin and Flesh Brook. Well, I'll tell you, but first, let's head upstream a couple miles. Let's go. Just kidding, that's actually private property. You gotta go another way. We're gonna be going this way, deep into the Fort Barton woods. But first, let's take a stop at old Fort Barton. Not much is left of the fort these days, but if you came to this exact spot during the Revolutionary War, you'd see a towering stone stronghold looking down over the Narragansett Bay. There's still some mounds of dirt outlining the foundation of the fort. This western embankment here is the most prominent. And this viewing platform was erected to show what the site from the top of the fort might have looked like when it was still erected. See that island in the distance there? That's Aquidneck Island. This fort was actually built during the Revolutionary War specifically because the British had a large force stationed on the island. The water gap between here and the island is actually the shortest distance from the island to the mainland. So this fort was built to blockade the easiest route for the British to get troops off the island. Imagine being a member of the Continental Army, looking across the bay late at night, seeing the light of the British fortifications just a few short miles away. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go see the brook. Quite a few brooks run through this forest, actually, like this unnamed one right here. Hey, look, here we are. Sin and Flesh Brook. All right, time to take our sip. Surprisingly clean. I was expecting hints of dirt, mud, leaves, but no, none of that. This is shockingly clear water, shockingly clean taste, suspiciously clean even, but still, I would have to call this a clean B+. So just where did this beautiful brook get such a dark name from? Well, the story starts back in the 17th century during the midst of a 3-year conflict between New England's populations of indigenous people and European colonists, known as the King Philip's War. Fought over land rights and old peace treaties, King Philip's War was extremely deadly, claiming thousands of lives on both sides. One of the most notorious battles of the war occurred in December of 1675, in which the colonists attacked the Narragansett Fort, killing hundreds of Native Americans, including many men, women, and children who weren't even soldiers. Now, with this bloody battle and raging war in mind, let's fast forward 3 years to March 28, 1676. A Quaker named Zoeth Howland is riding from Dartmouth to Newport, Rhode Island. Along the way, he passes through the woods of Tiverton, Rhode Island, following the path of a small stream as it snakes its way through the woods. Suddenly, as Howland rides through the forest, he is attacked by a group of 6 Native Americans who proceed to pull him to the ground and torture him to death. Howland's mangled, butchered body is discovered later by the local colonists floating in that same stream that he was following. Depending on who you ask, that stream and the forest that it runs through are still saturated with Howland's spirit and life. The colonists, realizing that the small brook had yet to be named, bestowed upon it a title fitting to its gruesome history, Sinning Flesh Brook. And as the times passed and changed, the name did too, leaving us here today at Sin and Flesh Brook. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.